Be March Boxing, what's happening, world? 2020, April. I believe today's the 14th. Yes. And they still out here, man. These media critics, these commenters, these fans on YouTube, these people out here, man, they still want the man Floyd Mayweather and the Canoli rematch. Why would Floyd Mayweather come up out of retirement to fight Canoli? For what, man? For what? Because what? It's going to be a mega fight. Look, Canelo's on top of his game right now. You know what I mean? There's a lot of asterisks on why he's on top of his game, but at the end of the day, Canelo is the biggest money maker in boxing right now. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather handled his business versus Canelo, who was undefeated in 2013, in September of 2013, in a masterpiece, a masterclass boxing lesson from the man Floyd Mayweather. Since he's retired, a guy like Canoli has kind of emulated Floyd Mayweather's style, trying to be that counter puncher, you know what I mean? The footwork not quite as fast. His fan speed is decent. His footwork still needs it's still pretty slow. Canoli's at the stage of his career right now where, the upper body movement, the head movement is probably his biggest asset as far as his defense and those left hooks to the liver. Devastating body puncher, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, in between time, since the man Floyd has been retired, Canoli's popped dirty twice for PEDs, you know what I mean? Why would the man Floyd Mayweather come up out of retirement to fight a guy who's popped dirty twice for PEDs, a guy who's yo-yo in different weight classes, going from 160 to 175 to 168, that's kind of suspicious, you know what I mean? Definitely more suspicious than Manny Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying? Look, Manny Pacquiao was at 135 um, when he fought David Diaz at lightweight, was only there for a quick stop. Then he fought De La Hoya at a catchweight, at welterweight. You know what I mean? Pacquiao didn't make 147 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't going from lightweight all the way to welterweight, then back down to lightweight, then at 140, and then, Canoli, you know what I'm saying, is a guy who's fought as high as 175 pounds. You know what I mean? Why would Floyd Mayweather come back when he has the lone victory and the only loss on Canoli's resume comes courtesy of Floyd Mayweather? Why would he come back and fight this guy? You know what I mean? That's something he could take to the grave. He got bragging rights, you know what I mean? Not to mention how Canoli is influenced by Floyd Mayweather's style. He's trying to be a savvy businessman like Floyd Mayweather. Unfortunately for him, he has promoters who, what I'm saying, look, Canoli got paid 35 million per fight for 11 fights. That's all well and fine. That's great. But at the end of the day, not all money is good money. You know what I'm saying? Because he's compromising himself as far as his viewership. You know what I mean? Being on the app, look, Canoli's popularity has dwindled ever since he came on that DAZN app, and that's the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? His popularity has dwindled. You know what I'm saying? The man fought Sergey Kovalev in front of 8,000 people at the T-Mobile Arena over there in Las Vegas. Are you serious? 8,000 people. They laughed at Floyd at Andre Ward versus Kovalev that only attracted 7,000 people at the MGM or T-Mobile, wherever it was at in Las Vegas. They laughed at Andre Ward and Kovalev. Said they couldn't draw flies to a they couldn't draw flies to a manure stain. You know what I mean? That's what they tried to say. But Canoli does 8,000 people. You're trying to tell me that this guy is still at the top of his game as far as his popularity? The man needs Floyd Mayweather more than anybody does, you know what I mean? And really and truly, Floyd should never, ever in his life give that man the gratitude or give that man, the satisfaction of giving him a rematch. You know what I'm saying? What for? You know what I mean? That man could seriously hurt the man Floyd Mayweather at this stage of Floyd Mayweather. It's not even his career. At this stage of Floyd Mayweather's life, at his age, the man Floyd Mayweather is 43 years old. Why would I, as a boxing fan, want him to come back out of retirement to fight a guy who's fought as high as 175 pounds? For what? Nah, that's not a fight like the British people say. That's not a fight I fancy. You know what I'm saying? I don't fancy that fight. Or as we say here in the States, man, I can't, I'm not with that. You know what I mean? I'm not feeling that particular fight. You know what I'm saying? They wanted Floyd Mayweather to fight guys like Triple G. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the man Floyd Mayweather did, you know what I'm saying, add, throw more gasoline to the fire when he said a man like Triple G is easy work. You know what I mean? He's pretty basic, straight up and down, no special effects. Those were the words from Floyd Mayweather. So now I can see why, the Floyd Mayweather protagonists and the people who want him to lose, just like they want him to lose now to come up out of retirement to fight the man Canoli and get stopped, knocked out, or hurt bad. You know what I mean? Well, they tried to say that the man, because Golovkin was talking about he'll fight anybody from 168 to 154. Yeah, as long as them 154 pounders didn't include Erislandy Lara and the 168 pounders didn't include Andre Ward or even Carl Froch, the man Gennady Golovkin was talking about he was down to fight anybody. And he said he'll fight Mayweather at 154 pounds, you know what I mean? You check it. So they wanted the man to fight bigger guys back when. Only really fight of a middleweight status that I thought maybe Floyd Mayweather could dare to be great, test himself like the great Sugar Ray Robinson when he went up to 175 to fight Joey Maxim, and or maybe when Jose Napoles went up to one from 147 to 160 to fight Carlos Monzon, or maybe when even Juan Manuel Marquez when he fought Floyd Mayweather on his first comeback out of retirement. You know what I mean? From lightweight going all the way to welterweight. I would have liked to see maybe Floyd Mayweather challenge himself when guys like Sergio Martinez was the middleweight champion of the world. Sergio Martinez was a kind of stocky dude. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't slightly built. You know what I'm saying? And at 154 and 160, he was definitely a small middleweight. But I think I would have liked to see Floyd May, and especially at the time, Sergio Martinez was like number 3 or 4 pound for pound on the pound for pound list. You know what I mean? So that's a fight I was definitely looking forward to maybe it being made, or maybe Floyd challenge himself, like even like Ray Leonard coming out of 3-year retirement to go and fight the man Hagler. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't go for it. He ain't go for the middleweight crown. You know what I mean? No shame in his game. You know what I mean? He had nothing to prove. Even when the man Miguel Cotto had the 160-pound WBC strap and the lineal title as that when he beat Sergio Martinez. There was a fight we'd seen before with Floyd and Cotto at 154. But if I thought if there was anything left to do for Floyd Mayweather, if he wanted to challenge himself, there to be great. Not that he's not great already. I thought those were two good fights for him at the time. You know what I mean? But really and truly, a fight with Canoli, it's not a good look right about now. Canoli has numerous guys still around right now in different weight classes. He wants to campaign at 160, 168, 175. So be it. Do your thing, man. But to me, a guy like Canoli is picking and choosing who he wants to fight. Yeah, he's talked about fighting Floyd Mayweather and how he would like to fight Floyd Mayweather right now and he'll knock him out. Okay, but Floyd Mayweather better not give that man any satisfaction or even let that man entertain the thought of him being in or Floyd Mayweather coming back. You know what I mean? What's up? We live, eat, sleep boxing. What the deal, man? What's going on with you? My man Chris say Canelo got schooled. No need for a rematch. You only get a rematch if the fight is close. Absolutely. Uh Carl Anthony Towns' mom, R.I.P. Yeah, man, R.I.P. to Carl Anthony Towns' mom. She passed away from the pandemic, COVID-19, and really and truly, as soon as NBA was really put on suspension, she was like the first person besides the two NBA players that we knew at the time who had it in What's the guy's name? And Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell from the Jazz. The third person that we had who has been affected by this COVID-19 was Carl Anthony Towns when he was talking about his mom. Had been affected by it, and I heard she passed away yesterday. So rest in peace. It's pretty hard. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's pretty devastating. You know what I mean? The man was in enjoying his NBA season. The season gets suspended, then he gets bad news. So rest in peace to Carl Anthony Town and his mom. Prayers out to everybody who's been affected by this pandemic, and hopefully we'll get through this. You know what I mean? We just gotta stay strong and follow instructions like the old MOP song. Follow instructions. You know what I mean? Will it be Sleep Boxing says Lara and Floyd would have been a good fight. Absolutely, that was a fight that could have been made because the man Lara was a mandatory for the longest with the WBA 154 title when Floyd was the champion there when he beat Canoli. You know what I mean? When he unified belts, WBA and WBC. You know what I'm saying? So that was a fight that could have taken place, but Floyd only defended them light middleweight titles, 154, only one time, and he basically kind of pulled a Ray Leonard, you know what I'm saying? A Ray Leonard versus Donnie Lalonde. Although it's a little different, but it's almost similar. Marcus Maidana in the second fight with Floyd, Marcus Maidana had never fought at 154 pounds ever in his life. But in the second fight, Floyd Mayweather put all his straps, everything out there. His WBA, WBC 147-pound titles, plus the ring and lineal titles. He put those on the line, and that's what they fought at 147. That's the weight class. That was the weight they fought at for the second fight with Maidana. And Floyd also put up his 154-pound WBC and WBA titles, plus the ring and lineal titles. You know what I mean? So he put everything on the line, and there was a lot of criticism, but that's because Floyd Mayweather really wasn't fighting no legitimate 154 pounders. That's just the truth about it. You know what I mean? He wasn't. After Canoli, he ain't fighting none of them. You know what I'm saying? So he had to put them belts. He had to defend them belts. So I guess he decided to put him up versus Maidana, similar to like Donnie Lalonde and Ray Leonard. The only difference was Donnie Lalonde was a 175-pound WBC light heavyweight champion. Um, the WBC was having an inauguration for the 168 super middleweight title. It was vacant. So Ray Leonard, he drained the man, made that man Donnie Lalonde from Canada come all the way from 175 to 168 to defend his light heavyweight title, and also tried to win this 168-pound title. And Ray Leonard won the fight. And on one night, the man won two titles in two different weight classes. You know what I'm saying? Taking it back the days of Henry Armstrong. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. We live eat sleep boxer says Chino rocking a Cuban link with Floyd tooth. LOL. Yeah, man. Floyd Mayweather says that's not his tooth. So I don't know where the truth is. You know what I mean? I don't know where the truth is in that story. I was at that fight live and direct in the second Maidana fight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. And I remember when at the end of the third round, that man caught that man with the overhand right. Maidana caught Floyd. Boom! Whoo! Rocked Floyd. Floyd ain't do no crazy spaghetti legs dance like Zab Judah versus Costa Zoo, but his legs, she was shaking under him, and Floyd held onto the rope immediately with one hand, and he used the rope to guide him back to his corner, to walk back to his stool. You know what I'm saying? Floyd kept a poker face like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Kept a poker face, you know. And look, man, Floyd Mayweather got a jaw, man. That man got a chin. You know what I'm saying? That man got an iron cast chin, in my opinion. I ain't never seen the man get flattened, just straight up cocked back, put on the canvas, and he's been hit with some hard shots. Just go watch that fight with Chop Chop Corley, man. Chop Chop Corley, man. Floyd Mayweather didn't fight his typical champ. type of fights. That was Money May, but Money May was also a defensive minded fighter as well. But he had also great offense because of his hand speed. I mean, and his hand speed got him into trouble, and also the fact that Floyd Mayweather is a respectable puncher. You know what I mean? And that's why he would have hand troubles because I guess he believed in his power a little too much. You should see the kind of haymakers and slugging that's going on in that fight with Demarcus Chop Chop Corley from DC. Them fellas rocked Floyd. He was the first man to really rock Floyd seriously like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, who's the other guy? There was another fight. Emmanuel Augustus. You know what I'm saying? Emmanuel Augustus. It was more accumulation that made Floyd Mayweather bleed, not no serious one-hand punches where Floyd got to clinch for dear life, and that's what he did versus Chop Chop Corley. But as soon as he cleared the cobwebs, Floyd was on the front foot. You know what I mean? Stalking. And you put the man on the canvas. He made that man quit, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop Chop Chop Corley. Yeah. Um, but man, sorry about that. I got a phone call. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So with that, if that's Floyd Mayweather's tooth, look, I watched the video. I watched the fight every time I go to a live event. Man, I come home. I watch that fight immediately on TV. And I seen how there was a white substance, something white flew out of Floyd's mouth as soon as he got caught with that overhand right by the man. What you call it? Um, by Marcus Maidana. It looked like a tooth flew out of the man Floyd Mayweather's mouth. You know what I mean? So how did Chino Maidana get his hands on it? You know what I mean? Did he go back on the canvas and search for the tooth? I don't know. I'm saying Floyd says it ain't his tooth. I've seen the video and it looked like Floyd Mayweather tooth flew out his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Chino Maidana, how did he get it if it is? So there's a lot of questions to be asked, you know what I'm saying? We Live, Eat, Sleep Boxer says Emmanuel Burton, Corley, Mosley, Chino. Yep. Those four guys you mentioned, um, they rocked the man Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Even the African South African dude not Emmanuel Burton, Philip Indow. The man came into that fight. He was like 30 wins, one loss, and 29 knockouts. That's a friendly fight from Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? That's a fight right there where Floyd Mayweather threw all that boxing stuff out the window. This gonna be a barroom brawl. You know what I mean? And around five, Floyd Mayweather's on the ropes, and this guy Philip Indow caught him. He's catching him with clean punches. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd ate him because he was throwing back punches himself, and he reversed the tables in that same round. Then he had Philip Indow on the ropes, and he was just cocking back straight right hands and just throwing severe power shots. You know what I mean? Um, Unfathomed Beats. What's up, Unfathomed Beats? He says, I said Floyd shouldn't have left the beast in the basement. Ain't done yet. Man, Floyd Mayweather's done. Floyd, he got nothing else to prove to me. When Floyd was fighting, the only criticism I had around before he retired was was that he not fighting Pacquiao. And I said to anybody who listened to me, if that man fights Manny Pacquiao, win, lose or draw, he don't got nothing else to prove to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that was really the only fight. Like it would have been a travesty if they retired both of them, and that fight never happened. So that fight was made, and Floyd handled his business. He washed Pacquiao. There was nothing else for me to criticize, really and truly. You know what I mean? If we live each sleep boxer says Floyd and Spinks would have been good as well. Absolutely, yeah, yep. That'd have been a good fight, man. Well, I don't know. Them fellas Floyd wasn't coming up to 154 unless it was for a serious big money fight. You know what I mean? Um, there was talks. I remember there was always talks about that fight happening. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been a good matchup. I think Floyd would have won even at 154 pounds. You know what I mean? Um, but never happened. You know what I'm saying? Floyd elected to fight guys like Cotto for 154-pound titles. Um, and Fathom Beat says, I say Money May teaches Canelo the legendary pedigree. Right? Even right now, nah, man. You know, there comes a point in time where there's a threshold where you gotta just have a cutoff. Like, not it's a wrap. Like, you could lose to this guy right now if you try to fight Canoli, man. Canoli, first and foremost, look, man. Canoli's the type of guy who, first and foremost, says he ain't trying to fight no Mexican fighters. You know what I mean? Basically, trying to say like, oh, like he ain't trying to stop they shine. He trying to let them live and be the best that they can be. Basically implying like if I fight them, I'm gonna ruin them. There's Zuda Ramirez, a guy who's fought at 168, former WBO champion. He's very, 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 very much undefeated. Go look at the man record. The man has over 40 wins and zero losses. Why wouldn't Canoli want to take that man's O? That's a guy right there, Zuda Ramirez. Look, Zuda Ramirez he is who he is. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, he can do two things. He can box and he can brawl Mexican style. You know what I mean? If he brings that pedigree of boxing, Zuda Ramirez, behind the jab, you know what I'm saying? Pumping that strong that straight left hand, digging into the body and staying and basically not staying in front of Canoli, moving his feet, making Canoli have to move his slow feet. He could possibly beat that guy. And those are the attributes that a guy like Billy Joe Saunders, the type of attributes for him, his keys to victory in order to beat the man Canoli. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's David Benavidez, who's not even American. I'm sorry, not even Mexican. Sure, he's Mexican American, but he's born in Phoenix, Arizona. He's American. Why Canoli ain't mentioning this guy? You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I think Canoli don't want to fight Mexican fighters because the WBC has given an exemption to Mexican fighters if they have any traces of clenbuterol in their system. You know what I'm saying? I personally don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right that the WBC giving anybody any exemption just because you have small traces or any traces of clenbuterol, because they're gonna blame it on the meat. Canoli's used this excuse twice when he popped dirty twice. You know what I mean? Yeah, never forget. That's why he could never be a fighter of the year on my book. Man, has tested positive for steroids, and his attitude towards him getting popped was so cavalier. Like, he didn't like. He had no remorse. He didn't apologize for it. He was like, "So what?" Basically, you know what I mean? I didn't like that one bit. Now, if Canoli knows the next Mexican fighter he's fighting might be juiced to the gills, you know what I'm saying? Might have clenbuterol, just like he may have clenbuterol. Man, Canoli ain't trying to go through that, man. Canoli ain't trying to. That's basically an even playing field now. And if you know anything about Canoli's career, he ain't about that even playing field stuff. You know what I mean? The next Mexican fighter could have clenbuterol in their system before and after the fight. When they take their drug test, they pop dirty. They have an excuse. They have a built-in excuse from the WBC. You know what I'm saying? So why would Canoli even risk fighting another Mexican fighter if that Mexican fighter has a built-in excuse, just like he has clenbuterol in his system? So Canoli knows he's smarter than that, but he ain't smarter than me because I see through the BS. You know what I'm saying? I see through the BS. You don't want to fight Jaime Munguia, no David Benavidez, no Zudo Jose Ramirez. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. And look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Canoli's trainer, Chepo and Eddie Reynoso, these guys are butchers by trade. These guys are butchers, have butcheries, probably have all kind of farms with cattle on it, you know what I mean? With cows. If you've watched any Canoli 24/7s or build-ups of his fights, guess who cooks his meals? None other than Eddie Chepo Reynoso, the older guy, the pops of Eddie Reynoso, you know what I mean? Yeah, butchers by trade. Who cooks his food for him? It's the butchers and the trainers, the Reynosos. So they know exactly what they fed that man. I ain't the one. You can't play with me, man. I ain't a dummy. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, that's one of the reasons why Floyd Mayweather should never come back and fight this guy, man. For what? He got nothing to prove, dogs. I personally don't want to see Floyd Mayweather back in the ring. Even against Pacquiao, against nobody. He has nothing else to prove. I would like for him to actually enjoy the second part of his career, as far as if in the boxing career, whether he wants to be a trainer or whether he wants to continue promoting. He needs to do a better job promoting, to be honest. But at the end of the day, man, he's done everything that, and some more that he probably ever dreamed of doing in boxing. You know what I mean? Personally, like I said, until if he didn't fight Manny Pac, when he fought Manny Pacquiao, I had no criticism towards Floyd Mayweather. Up until that, the only criticism I had was, what the hell, man, Floyd, you the money maker, and that's how I always see it till this day. And I don't care what nobody says. When a man is an A side who calls the shots and a particular fight is not happening, I'm gonna blame it on the A side guy because the A side guy is the one who's the cash cow. You know what I'm saying? He calls the shots unless he's really trying to, be, be greedy and want to take the complete massive lion's share of the dough. You know what I'm saying? Then I could see why the B side wouldn't want to get into a fight with the A side. Like for example, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? If Anthony Joshua is the cash cow, and the biggest amount of money he'll ever make fighting anybody would have been Deontay Wilder, and vice versa. Wilder's biggest payday would have been versus Anthony Joshua, and the fight don't get made. Yeah, there's something fishy, man. The A side, and that's how I always looked at it. You know what I mean? And in that situation, look, Manny Pacquiao wasn't trying to take no drug testing 6 years before that particular fight happened, 5 6 years. Then he did agree to all terms that Floyd Mayweather wanted. He agreed to everything. But now all of a sudden, Floyd ain't really wasn't really talking about the fight. And in Floyd's defense, Manny Pacquiao did lose two fights in a row to Tim Bradley and got put to sleep by Marquez. I really thought he won the Tim Bradley fight, but that's for a whole nother video. Controversial decisions. But when look, so who did Pacquiao fight? He fought guys like Brandon Rios and Chris Algieri, and the world and the public still demanded that fight. And what did Floyd Mayweather do as the A side at a Miami Heat game, which Manny Pacquiao was attending as well? He walked at halftime. He walked across the court, walked over to the man Manny Pacquiao. They shook hands. They talked, pulled out their phones, exchanged numbers, and they made the negotiations happen. You know what I mean? And I could respect that 100% from the man Floyd Mayweather as the A side. He walked over to Manny Pacquiao and said, "Yo, the people want to see this fight. Let's give it to him." You know what I mean? You check it. So Floyd made that fight happen. No criticism for me when he fought Andre Berto at the end of his career. Look, man, I would have loved to see him fight Kell Brook for undisputed, but it wouldn't have been for undisputed because the WBO ain't want that man Floyd Mayweather to hold their strap. They made him vacate the strap. You know what I'm saying? They stripped him actually. You know what I mean? So Canoli versus Floyd Mayweather. I still see people talk about it, even making videos about it. Like, no, Floyd ain't coming back to fight Canoli, and he should never even consider that. Canoli has numerous guys around right now. Demetrius Andrade, guys on his side of the street. Jamel Charlo, a fight that the boxing public would love to see. You know what I mean? He ain't giving us these fights, so why should the man Floyd Mayweather even entertain the thought of even coming back to fight a guy like Canoli? Don't do it, Slim. Slim is 175 pounds, you know what I mean? The man rehydrates to like 190. Amir Khan said when he fought Canoli at 155 pounds, he rehydrated to 180 pounds. I believe it 100%. I saw the weigh-in. I saw the weigh-in of that fight with Amir Khan and Canoli. And that man, Canoli looked sick on the scales, you know what I mean? He looked drained. He looked sick. Yeah, come fight night, that man looked like the Incredible Hulk, except he ain't green. This man Canoli was all bright red. You know what I'm saying? Looking looking like cinnamon for real. You know what I mean? That man rehydrated a good 25 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So there's no point of Floyd Mayweather, who's a guy who started at 130 pounds at super featherweight, to fight the man Canoli. Forget about it. Be Marsh Boxing. Leave your thoughts and comments. Big ups to We Live, Eat, Sleep Boxing. Unfathomed Beats. Big ups to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone. Peace.